Before giving up on a relationship, make every effort to communicate honestly, listen sincerely, and seek understanding with an open heart. Many relationships do not end because love completely disappears. Sometimes they suffer because important conversations are avoided, feelings remain unspoken, and misunderstandings grow larger over time. When two people stop communicating openly, assumptions often take the place of truth, creating distance where closeness once existed. It is natural to feel hurt when a relationship begins to struggle. Fear of rejection, disappointment, or further conflict can make people hesitate to express what they truly feel. However, silence rarely solves emotional problems. In many cases, unresolved issues continue to grow until they become much harder to repair. Honest communication may feel uncomfortable, but it often provides the clarity needed to move forward. One of the most valuable skills in any relationship is the ability to listen as much as you speak. Healthy conversations are not about winning arguments or proving who is right. They are about understanding each other's perspectives and finding common ground. When both people feel heard, trust can begin to rebuild even during difficult moments. Patience is equally important. Emotional decisions made in the heat of frustration can lead to regrets later on. Taking time to talk, reflect, and understand each other's feelings can prevent unnecessary endings and help reveal solutions that were not immediately visible. Sometimes what appears to be the end of a relationship is actually an opportunity for growth and renewal. At the same time, communication requires courage. It takes courage to admit mistakes, acknowledge shortcomings, and express vulnerable emotions. Many people wait for the other person to make the first move, but meaningful change often begins when one person chooses honesty over pride. Not every conversation will restore a relationship, and not every effort will lead to reconciliation. However, there is peace in knowing that you communicated sincerely and gave the relationship a fair chance. Whether the outcome is reunion or closure, honest dialogue allows both people to move forward with fewer regrets. Remember that relationships thrive when both individuals are willing to work together. Love is not sustained by feelings alone. It is strengthened by understanding, patience, respect, and continuous communication. The willingness to talk openly can often save what silence slowly destroys. If you value someone, do not leave important words unsaid. Express your feelings with sincerity, listen with compassion, and give understanding a chance before deciding that all hope is gone. Sometimes a single heartfelt conversation can change the direction of an entire relationship. Do not let other people define who you are or limit who you can become. Life often begins with stories, expectations, and beliefs handed down by others. Some of these lessons guide us in the right direction, while others place invisible boundaries around our dreams. As we grow, there comes a time when we must decide whether we will live according to the expectations of others or discover our own path. Many people spend years seeking approval before making important decisions. They hesitate to pursue their passions because they fear criticism, rejection, or failure. Yet some of the most meaningful achievements in life begin when a person chooses to trust their own vision, even when nobody else fully understands it. Progress is often born from courage, not certainty. The journey towards self-discovery is rarely traveled alone. Along the way, we meet people who share our hopes, inspire our growth, and walk beside us through life's challenges. These relationships remind us that while individuality is important, meaningful connections can make the journey richer and more rewarding. Together, people can build dreams, communities, and memories that endure far beyond a single moment. There is also value in remembering where you came from. The places, experiences, and people that shaped your early years often hold lessons that continue to guide you throughout life. Looking back is not about living in the past. It is about appreciating the foundation that helped create the person you are becoming. The future remains unwritten, filled with possibilities that cannot yet be seen. Instead of allowing fear to dictate your choices, remain curious about what lies ahead. Stay open to learning, creating, and growing. The world becomes larger when you give yourself permission to imagine beyond what already exists. Walk your own path, embrace your individuality, and surround yourself with people who encourage growth rather than limit it. The life you create may not look exactly like anyone else's, and that is precisely what makes it meaningful. Do not place your entire sense of security and happiness in the hands of someone else. There are moments in life when we feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and desperate for support. During these difficult times, it is natural to seek comfort from the people we love and trust. Human connection is important, and having someone stand beside us can provide strength when we feel like giving up. However, relying completely on one person to carry all of our emotional burdens can leave us vulnerable when they are unable or unwilling to be there. Many people experience disappointment when their expectations of others are not met. They believe someone will always be available to rescue them, encourage them, or heal their pain. When that support suddenly disappears, feelings of loneliness, confusion, and heartbreak can become overwhelming. This is why emotional resilience is so important. While relationships can strengthen us, we must also learn how to stand on our own when circumstances change. Trust is a valuable part of every meaningful relationship, but trust should be balanced with self-reliance. The strongest individuals are not those who never need help. They are those who appreciate support while continuing to build their own inner strength. When you develop confidence in yourself, setbacks become easier to manage because your stability is not entirely dependent on someone else's presence. There will be times when people disappoint you despite their best intentions. Life is unpredictable, and everyone faces their own struggles. Instead of viewing these moments as proof that you are alone, see them as opportunities to discover your own resilience. You may be stronger than you realize, capable of overcoming challenges that once seemed impossible. At the same time, never be afraid to ask for help when you genuinely need it. Strength is not about carrying every burden in silence. It is about recognizing when to lean on others while also believing in your ability to move forward. Healthy relationships are built on mutual support, not emotional dependence. When life feels overwhelming and you are searching for a miracle, remember that hope can come from many places. Sometimes it comes from a loved one, sometimes from unexpected opportunities, and sometimes from the strength that has been quietly growing within you all along. Do not judge people solely by how they appear on the surface, and do not let the opinions of others decide who is worthy of your trust, respect, or love. In life, it is easy to be influenced by first impressions and public opinion. Society often celebrates the most visible qualities: status, popularity, appearance, or success, while overlooking the deeper characteristics that truly define a person. As a result, many individuals are misunderstood, underestimated, or ignored despite possessing remarkable qualities beneath the surface. One of the greatest mistakes people make is assuming they fully understand someone without taking the time to know them. Every person carries dreams, struggles, strengths, and experiences that are not immediately visible. What appears ordinary to the world may be extraordinary to someone who takes the time to look deeper. Genuine character is often revealed not through grand displays, but through kindness, loyalty, resilience, and authenticity. There will be times when others question your choices, especially when you see value in someone they fail to appreciate. While it is important to listen to wise advice, it is equally important to develop your own judgment. Not every meaningful connection will make sense to outsiders because they are not experiencing the relationship through your eyes. They may only see what is obvious, while you see the qualities hidden beneath the surface. However, appreciating someone's potential should never mean ignoring red flags or abandoning your standards. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and consistent actions. Admiring someone's hidden strengths is valuable, but wisdom requires balancing optimism with discernment. Love should be guided by both the heart and good judgment. The people who often make the greatest impact on our lives are not always the ones who receive the most recognition. Sometimes the most inspiring individuals are those who quietly pursue their dreams, remain true to themselves, and continue growing despite being overlooked. Their value does not depend on public approval. It comes from who they genuinely are. Take time to look beyond appearances, assumptions, and labels. You may discover qualities that others have missed. Some of the most meaningful relationships, friendships, and opportunities in life begin when you choose to see people for who they truly are rather than how the world perceives them. Do not be afraid to seek clarity when your heart is uncertain, but remember that love should never leave you endlessly guessing. Feelings can be beautiful, exciting, and overwhelming all at once. When you deeply care about someone, every smile, conversation, and shared moment can feel meaningful. You begin to imagine possibilities, wonder about the future, and hope that the affection you feel is being returned. Yet, one of the most challenging experiences in relationships is not rejection. It is uncertainty. Many people spend months or even years waiting for answers that never come. They hold on to mixed signals, unspoken feelings, and assumptions, hoping that time alone will reveal the truth. While patience is a valuable quality, there comes a point when honesty becomes more important than waiting. A healthy relationship grows through open communication, not through endless confusion. It is natural to want to protect your heart from disappointment. Fear of rejection often causes people to remain silent about their feelings. They convince themselves that waiting a little longer will make things clearer. However, clarity rarely arrives on its own. Sometimes courage means asking difficult questions and accepting whatever answer follows. The truth may not always be what you hope for, but it provides the freedom to move forward. At the same time, love requires respect for another person's pace and boundaries. Not everyone is ready to open their heart immediately. Some people carry fears, past wounds, or uncertainties of their own. Genuine affection is patient, understanding, and willing to give others the space they need without demanding immediate answers. The strongest relationships are built on mutual effort. It should not be one person constantly chasing while the other remains distant. When two people truly value each other, they create a sense of security where feelings can be expressed honestly and openly. Love flourishes when both hearts choose to meet halfway. If someone is worth waiting for, let your patience be guided by self-respect. Hope can be beautiful, but it should never come at the cost of your peace of mind. Know your worth, communicate your intentions, and allow the truth to reveal the path that is meant for you. Do not rush a meaningful relationship just because your feelings are growing stronger. When you meet someone who makes your heart feel alive, it is natural to want everything to happen quickly. Excitement, attraction, and emotional connection can create a strong desire to move forward without hesitation. However, some of the most beautiful relationships are not built through speed. They are built through patience, understanding, and trust. Strong feelings can sometimes make people overlook the importance of truly getting to know one another. They become focused on the destination rather than appreciating the journey. Yet genuine love is not measured by how quickly a relationship progresses, but by how deeply two people learn to understand, respect, and support each other along the way. Patience allows love to grow naturally. It creates space for honest conversations, shared experiences, and emotional security. When two people take time to build a solid foundation, they reduce the risk of misunderstandings and unnecessary heartbreak. A relationship that develops steadily often becomes stronger because it is rooted in trust rather than impulse. There is nothing wrong with being excited about someone who seems special. In fact, hope is one of the most beautiful parts of falling in love. But hope should be balanced with wisdom. Give yourself permission to enjoy each moment without placing pressure on what the future must become. Sometimes the best connections flourish when they are allowed to unfold at their own pace. Love is not a race with a finish line. There is no prize for reaching milestones faster than everyone else. What matters most is building a relationship where both people feel valued, respected, and emotionally safe. Taking things slowly does not mean your feelings are less genuine. It often means you care enough to do things right. So if you find yourself falling for someone special, allow the relationship room to breathe and grow. Appreciate the small moments, cherish the conversations, and trust the process. The strongest love stories are often written one meaningful moment at a time. Do not measure the strength of a relationship by how easy it is, but by how willing both people are to remain committed through life's challenges. Many people dream of finding a love that feels effortless, where every moment is filled with happiness and certainty. While love can bring joy, true commitment is often revealed during difficult seasons rather than comfortable ones. Anyone can stay when everything is going well, But lasting relationships are built by people who choose each other even when circumstances become complicated. Life will inevitably bring hardships, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles. There will be moments when plans change, emotions are tested, and the future feels uncertain. During these times, it becomes important to remember why the relationship was built in the first place. Love is not simply a feeling that appears during good days. It is also a decision to remain supportive, respectful, and faithful during difficult ones. Past struggles can strengthen a relationship when they are faced together. Challenges often teach patience, understanding, forgiveness, and resilience. They reveal character and deepen appreciation for one another. What once seemed like a burden can eventually become proof of how much two people have grown together. Promises carry meaning only when they are supported by consistent actions. Loyalty, honesty, and trust are not demonstrated through words alone, but through daily choices. A strong relationship requires both people to invest effort, communicate openly, and remain committed to solving problems together rather than walking away at the first sign of difficulty. No one can predict every twist and turn that life will bring. The future will always contain uncertainties. However, when two people are united by mutual respect, genuine love, and a shared commitment to grow together, they become better equipped to face whatever lies ahead. The goal is not to avoid every challenge, but to face them as a team. So when you find someone who values your heart and stands beside you through both victories and struggles, cherish that connection. Relationships that endure are not built on perfection. They are built on trust, perseverance, and the decision to keep choosing each other every day. Do not seek validation from others before learning to accept and heal yourself. Many people carry regrets from their past. They remember mistakes they wish they could undo, decisions they wish they had made differently, and moments that continue to weigh heavily on their hearts. Because of these memories, they sometimes become afraid of letting others see who they truly are. They worry that if someone discovers their flaws, failures, or past actions, they will no longer be accepted or loved. While these fears are understandable, hiding behind a perfect image can become exhausting. No one is without mistakes, and no one grows without facing difficult lessons. Personal growth begins when you stop defining yourself solely by your past and start recognizing the person you are becoming. The mistakes you made may be part of your story, but they do not have to become your identity. It is also important to understand that healing cannot depend entirely on another person's acceptance. Many people hope that love from someone else will erase their insecurities, but lasting confidence comes from learning to forgive yourself first. Self-acceptance creates a stronger foundation than relying on external validation. When you value yourself, you are better prepared to build healthy and honest relationships. Growth often requires stepping back and giving yourself time to reflect. There are seasons in life when focusing on self-discovery is more important than pursuing romance. Taking time to understand your values, heal emotional wounds, and become comfortable with your authentic self is not selfish, it is necessary. The healthier your relationship with yourself becomes, the healthier your future relationships can be. Authentic connections are built on truth, not perfection. The people who genuinely care about you will appreciate your willingness to be honest about your past while recognizing your efforts to grow. You do not need to pretend to be flawless to deserve respect, kindness, or love. So before asking whether someone else will choose you, ask whether you are choosing yourself. Give yourself permission to heal, learn, and grow. The journey toward becoming your best self is one of the greatest investments you can make, and the love you offer yourself today can shape the relationships you build tomorrow.